Good morning, sunshines. Apparently, we're back to doing Good Morning Sunshine in the car. I'm not driving. See, no hands. As you jump on, say Good Morning Sunshine, hashtag GMS before we talk about pruning in our life, not the roses, not the flowers, maybe the roses and the flowers in addition to our life. But we always start off by saying something that we are grateful for. My name is Callie Carroll, BT Dub, if you haven't met me yet. And we just talk about perspective. That's a huge truck. Perspective, our lives, discovering happiness, and just sometimes general crap. I don't know, you guys. We talk about it all. So we always start off by sharing something that we're grateful for. Anything in the world that you're grateful for. John Carroll, what are you grateful for? Caught him off guard. We do this.
You.
Oh, he said me. What a good answer. Whitson, what are you grateful for? I don't. He's grateful for trucks. Is anybody grateful that the Nuggets won last night? I think that there's probably a lot of Coloradans that are. Oh my gosh, English is hard today. So that's gonna be my gratitude today. I love to see basically people come together wrapped around sports. It's one of my favorite things, as well as watching athletes. Whoa! Don't worry. Just there we are. I forgot that we're driving. There, that is a big truck, buddy. So share something that you're grateful for in the comments. Okay, let's talk about pruning because that's why you guys are here, right? This morning I was out. Our roses took a little bit of some damage from the hail a couple days ago. Plus, they just needed to be pruned, right? It was time to cut them back. That's so true, Whit and John. That's so cool. And the reason we prune, right? Let's just talk about the flowers for a minute. The reason why we prune is that our flowers can't reach their ultimate growth if we don't pull back what's unnecessary, right? Maybe that's not for all flowers. It's certainly not for all flowers, but for my roses, that is a thing, right? Once they've come up, they've bloomed, then they're actually kind of inhibiting the way of additional growth. So, good morning, Eric. How are you? That's so cool. Oh my gosh. He hasn't talked to me once, and now I'm talking to you guys, so he's like, let's chat. That's so true, Whit and John. It's white store booba, you guys. Okay, so let's look at our lives and what it means to actually prune our lives. And I want you to first of all think about the tribe that you hang out with. We're going to talk about people for a second, and this can be a really uncomfortable conversation for some people. Just splendid, absolutely, Eric. It can be a pretty uncomfortable conversation for some people because when you look at the relationships in your world, some of us, like, we want every relationship to last forever, right? It's like, I already worked on building that relationship. I have it. I've got it. I don't want to work on forming any new friendships, any new relationships. So I'm just going to keep what I have. But you start to notice that you're outgrowing the relationship, outgrowing the friendship, or perhaps the friendship, the relationship is kind of holding you back. And then this doesn't happen with everyone, but there are certainly people, you can probably think of people in your life who are not supporting you in your ultimate growth. And maybe not even that, because that's not what everybody's meant to do. That's not each one of our roles, right? But more, they're inhibiting your growth. They are the dead flower that are blocking you from completely blossoming. And an example of this could be to look at, okay, we know, I think most of us know that we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, right? If you look at the people you spend the most time with, you're going to look to probably have similar finances, similar ways you spend your time, similar physiques, similar education, similar hobbies and ideas. And not that you're exactly the same, but you start to hang around people that are like conforming to what you do, and you find people where you're comfortable. And that's what a lot of this is about. It's about you're comfortable with these different humans because that's what you've done for so long. And you look at what pruning can do to allow for growth. And it can be hard because it's like, I don't want to shift relationships. I don't want to have to make those changes. But look in your world, and let's first of all just talk about the negative Nancy. It could be you. You might be the negative Nancy. Ooh, maybe somebody needs to prune you. Or you look around and you're like, wow, I do have a tribe of people. There's some people that I hang out with that basically we get together and it's just like, okay, who are we going to talk shit about first? And it's all negativity. Maybe we're going to talk shit about the government, about politics, about our world, about our life, about our situation, about our finances, about the people around us. But definitely when we get together, we're going to be negative. Yeah, we're just going to do a quick little finger poke today. Just a quick one. It'd be okay. You're so strong and so courageous, buddy. And then we'll go do garage sale. Yeah, we'll just do one Band-Aid, okay? And we'll get some stickers. That would be good. And they're those people, if you want to get out of the negative mindset, if you want to get out of feeling that negative energy, attracting negative towards you, deciding and choosing for negativity nonstop, if you don't want to do that anymore, there's probably some pruning you need to do in your life, right? No, just one little quick pokey, and then we do Band-Aid, and then we go home. You're so strong, buddy. I know, you're so strong. Ooh, look at that. Yes, girl. Okay, so sorry, guys. Taking care of this at the same time. Now, like pruning these people, right? So you're like, yes, Cal, I do see this. I do have a lot of negativity, and it does bring me down. Like, I leave those people, and I feel drained. I feel emotionally drained. But like, they've been my people for how long? How do I start to alter that? Like, how do I make that decision to start to prune those people? Do I have to literally be like, you know what? You're too negative. I don't get to be around you anymore because Callie says, and I want to grow. Absolutely not. Last thing that you want to do. Like, that does not sound comfortable for anybody, right? I'll be right there, buddy. I'll be right there. But what you could do is start working on building relationships that make you feel lifted. Think about the people that when you're around them, you're like, I just feel good when I'm around them. I feel energized. I feel like we choose to embrace ourselves with positivity. We talk about what could be instead of what we wish wasn't, right? We mentally and socially and physically support each other for growth. I have friends that I go hiking with, and I have friends that I go, binge drinking and eating greasy foods with. Like, it's making the choices that could I spend a little bit more time with these humans. And as you do that, what's naturally going to happen is you only have so much time, especially for social things, and it's going to be less and less with those people that maybe aren't benefiting you. And yes, sometimes will they notice this? Will they be like, hey, yo, you just don't have time for me? And there could be this response, and I've done this before. I know a lot of people who have done this before. I'm like, look, I'm really trying to get out of the space where I dive into negativity anymore. Like, I would love to hang out. Do you want to go hiking with us this weekend? Like, let's go hiking. And I'm just trying to keep it like on a positive note. This doesn't happen overnight, by the way. You can't choose to prune your life, right? To prune it, and I'll talk about that, Aaron, in a second, because that's a great point. You can't choose to prune the relationships, the situations, and everything in your life overnight, especially I'm not a bridge burner. That is not fun to me. Just like to cut people off, like, no, like that doesn't feel good for them. It doesn't feel good for you. It feels like a complete insult. It's just not fun. But to start to establish new relationships, there's this natural transition that your life will go through. Right. And it starts to flow, even though it takes time. It starts to flow. Those new relationships that build you up, you'll see that you're with them. You're like, I want more of that. I want to be around more of the people who lift me up. I want to be in that situation. So you make that more of a priority. And then we're like, hey, do you want to go out, drinking and eating late night again? Oh, I'm sorry. I actually have an early morning hike tomorrow. Right. And it starts to make this natural transition where people will find the people that they want to be supported for where they're at in their life. And now we all have different times, just so you guys know. There are times in your life where you're the one perhaps that people are pruning. Like, you're in the situation where you are in the negative mindset, you're in the negative habits, the negative lifestyle. And that sounds really bad to say negative. It's just like but there are negative vibrations that are associated, especially with like talking shit about people. I'm talking about that, like, right. And it might be you like, oh, like maybe there's a way out of this. Is there actually a way out of this for me? Because I don't even see that. I've just noticed that I've been in it for so long that's all I know. Now, talk about trying to find the new people, right? How does a new rose bloom? Right? How do you come up and find your new space? I love what I'm doing. Good morning, sunshine, you guys. And people just walk by like, that lady is batshit crazy talking to herself that fast. It's weird. Meeting new people is hard. It's hard, Aaron. You're absolutely 100% right. Especially you're out of college and you're not in that space, so you're not getting a new job where you're around new people. Meeting new people is hard. And the only way to do that is to get out of our comfort zone. For most people don't have an easy time just like walking up. Oh, hey, girl, just walking up. You crack me up. Walking up and just like chatting with somebody new. That's not most people's skill set. right? And plus, it's like you do that and you're like, am I just like walking into a negative Nancy anyways? I don't know this person. But I think one of the best ways is to find social groups and activities that would support what you're leaning into, right? This could be with maybe like your church, like maybe there's a certain thing that's attractive there. Maybe there's different meetups that you could do there. It could be with like exercise groups. There's a lot of like actual meetup groups. You guys know that, right? It's called meetup groups. Is that what it's called? Meetup.com, whatever. There's meetup groups where you gather together and you look for people that go hiking. You look for people that drink wine. You look for people that go bar hopping. You look for people that like cycling. And you can pick something that's like, maybe it's a book club. Maybe it's a book club for positive mindset shift books, for personal development books. That would be a great place to start, because every one of those humans are trying to lift themselves up. I met a lot of people in like programs or seminars like Landmark, or going to like buy tickets to see anybody who like local. Maybe there's a Tony Robbins. That's probably a little stretch because he's not there all the time, right? But there's different people who are speaking up, and you choose to be around those. And when you're in those spaces and places, all of those other humans are trying to meet new people too. You could do like Facebook groups, start to build relationships there. See, like Facebook is nice because you can meet somebody in a group. Maybe it's about positive mindset or about Colorado hiking or whatever. And then you can actually go to their page and see if it's just like just slandered and shit talking, because I'll go to some people's page, I meet them, and I look at their posts, I'm like, never mind, like unfriend. And that's totally fine. It makes it really easy, right? Because you get to see who they really are before you even like have that meetup time with them. But when you're looking at this, okay, so here's where I'm going to end, because Whit and John's about to get poked soon, and he does not want to do that without me. At least I think he doesn't. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't even need me there, but I personally think he does, because it makes me feel good. Anywho, look at your life and your pruning opportunities. Okay. Look up, like, right where you're ready to blossom in an area. You're ready to blossom financially. You're ready to blossom physically. You're ready to blossom mentally. You're ready to blossom with your relationships. You want for that blossoming. You think maybe you want for it. Now look up and see what needs to be pruned. Who's in your way? What's in your way? Maybe it's not pruning a person, it's pruning a habit, right? But something needs to go. And again, when you make that decision, you don't need to burn bridges. You don't need to be a dick about it. You don't need to point fingers like you're better than somebody else, because guess what? You're not better than them. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. None of us are better than any of us. We are just us doing our best in this life where we're at right now, right? But that doesn't mean we don't need relational shifts in our life as we progress and become who we ultimately want to become to be our best. Make sense? Okay, so homework, commitment at the end, right? Do I want to take this talk and have some sort of action with it, or do I want to just walk away from it? Either way, you guys, you're here, you stayed here, you've got an opportunity for some absorption, regardless of whether you like decide to take any action from it. But if you do want to take action, do I have the keys, or does John have the keys? Great question, Cal. It's Children's Hospital. What could happen? I've heard about some bad things. They're in my lap. What could you do about it, right? See an area in your life. Where do I want to grow? Think about one thing that's blocking you that you could start to spend less time with. That is a vet or a who, both things, right? Spend less time with. I don't want to hit this person's car as I'm getting out. And then think about some way that you could support yourself in blossoming by being around additional things or people. And that's probably the easier way to start, right? Like, think about something that makes you feel positive, good, lit up, and start spending more time reaching out to that person, talking with that person, messaging that person, making an effort to spend time with that person, or those things. Maybe it's you in the gym, maybe it's you in a book, maybe it's you in a meditation room, maybe it's you in a yoga class, right? And that's a great place to start. Okay, you guys, it's time to go prune some shit. I just said that walking in front of Children's Hospital, and there's children around, so I should not do that. I love you guys. Good morning, sunshines. Light and love from my children's to yours. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, bye. Okay, I can do it.